here we go. Being one of the best orchestral ensembles in the world, the Cleveland Orchestra has not ceased to inspire people of all types, whether it be musicians, fans, students, or even the youngest of our population. Aside from being a top-notch orchestra, the Cleveland Orchestra has demonstrated great efforts to share the power of classical music throughout schools across Miami-Dade County.
I had never been to the Arts Center, so I didn't know what it looked like inside. I was very interested in the building itself because I always see it. It's like an amazing structure, and I can imagine that the theater itself would be beautiful. So I was expecting it to be a very beautiful setting. I was expecting the orchestra to be very good because I was told by Shannon and many of my friends who know who they are that they're an incredible orchestra. So I was expecting a lot, but my expectations were definitely met because the theater was beautiful, the orchestra was incredible, and everything was even better than I expected. I mean, I can imagine if I am amazed by it, that kids would be 10 times more amazed as I was because they're so much more energetic and imaginative.
Yes.
What was your favorite part?
When the boy was singing about the cow and the cat.
Oh, really? Yeah, you guys sing along so well. What did you see any good instruments that you like?
Yeah, I like the violin.
Do you like portraying?
Yeah, I loved it, and I loved the musicians. My favorite part when they was playing the music.
Like the show?
Yeah.
Did you see any cool instruments?
Yes. The violin. My favorite part was the horns, I think. I liked it all.
I was ecstatic to see how excited the second graders were to see the Cleveland Orchestra. I mean, I'm sure most of them maybe had never been to a theater that big or grand, and so it was a unique experience for them and for me. When I was in 4th grade, I remember a couple performances at school, but nothing as grand as a whole field trip to the Arts Center.
Sardines, scoot. Sardines, let's go. Scoot, 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 scoot. Okay, you know what? We're a little bit shuffled here. Hane, scoot behind.
Personal experiences that they get in the classrooms where the musicians come and they play for them in small groups, which is very nice because it's very personal, and they get to see them up close and hear the instruments up close and really analyze things.
Good morning. Good morning. My name is Miss Katz, and this is Miss Joella Jones.
I have probably one of the more interesting positions in the sense that I have the requirement to play more than one instrument. I play all the keyboard instruments, so I play piano, harpsichord, organ, synthesizer, and my favorite instrument is the accordion.
The Cleveland Orchestra travels all the way from Cleveland, Ohio to Miami, Florida several times for nearly 4 weeks in order to perform and musically educate the youth of Miami.
What we do is really, it's entertainment, you know, it makes people happy, hopefully, or makes them cry sometimes if people really do something especially great. But I think that's an incredible motivation, you know, and that just, the ultimate reason you're doing it is to play something of beauty for people.
So they're really thinking, I can tell they're paying a lot of attention to how it is that they're going to get kids interested in this music, and I think it's working.
Hi girls, my name is Shannon. I hope you enjoyed the performance, and I just want to ask you a couple questions. So, do you want to go ahead and introduce yourselves? What's your name?
My name is Kristen DeBello.
What's your name?
Bella Moreno. Valeria Estrada.
Okay. So I want to know, what was your absolute favorite part of the show?
My favorite part is when one of the girls gave the demonstration about the viola. I really like violas a lot.
That's great.
My favorite part is when while we were singing while they were playing the instruments. My favorite part is that when we were dancing and they were showing us how to dance the moves.
What was your
My favorite part was when they were playing the instruments and we were singing.
Very nice. Okay. So have any of you heard classical music before? No, not so much?
No.
So now that you've heard it, what do you think of it?
I think it's great. It's a great experience to be feeling music.
Yeah? What do you think?
I think it's a good way to start, it's a good way to start learning to play your own music. It's really nice, and it's classical, and it's soft and gentle and relaxing.
Very soothing. And what do you think?
I think it's nice because then you could feel happy and not be mad or sad.
Oh, that's very nice. So do any of you play instruments currently?
No.
Would you like to in the future?
Yes, I would like to play. I do.
Yeah? All right. Well, thank you so much for being here today with us, and I'm glad you enjoyed the performance. Miami is the home of the Cleveland Orchestra's winter residency. Whether it be a full ensemble show at the Adrian Arch Center for an audience packed with 4th graders, or an intimate performance at a local elementary school, the Cleveland Orchestra has and still is impacting the lives of many young students, all of whom hold great potential to become musicians.
On our way to the barnyard, I was expecting something very different because Miss Pierce told me it was a renovated barn, an actual barn in Coconut Grove, and I know Coconut Grove is a neighborhood, so I couldn't imagine just a barn in the middle of a suburban neighborhood. That was kind of weird, so I had no idea what to expect. I was very confused, but when we got there, I was surprised in a good way to see that, you know, it was this really cool, creative, urban structure that they had put together. It looked like by hand. I mean, they had great projects floating on the ceiling. The whole thing was painted in all sorts of different colors. The kids were all doing their work in these little separate areas, and everything was just so alive in that building. And it stuck out, but it's the kind of building that you want to gravitate towards because of how interesting it looked.
I didn't really know what to expect, considering I had never been to that particular part of Miami or anything labeled as a barnyard. But when we did get there, I was very excited to see that it was a very inviting atmosphere and everybody there was very warm-hearted.
Yes. I'm Brian Thornton. I'm a cellist with the Cleveland Orchestra, and I play with the orchestra about 18 years. And I love to do educational projects, just like the one here at the Barnyard. I think education programs like this are the most important thing that the orchestra does, actually, for myself, because it not only does it build audiences, but you can teach many other things through music. You can teach math, you can teach science, and music is like a great delivery device, because you can have someone even memorize a language through the use of music.
Right. The sum of these experiences amount to a life-changing result within the youth of our neighborhood. The Cleveland Orchestra's effort to deliver a rich musical education to the young students of our community are without doubt an effort that is deserving of a great tribute.